What's up? In today's video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can make a cutesy little animation or like a stop motion video using Google Slides. So let's get started. Okay, so you know when people have like embedded into their videos or their slide decks these cute little like slow motion, like robotic cutesy animations? Well, those are stop motion videos, and I'm going to show you how we can do that in Google Slides. So the first thing we're going to do is open up a blank Google Slides, and we're going to pick a background. I have no clue what we're going to do for this. I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants, which I tend to do when I'm making these videos. Let's say we have a field of daisies. This one looks lovely. I insert my field of daisies. I'm going to delete these text boxes. I can come up to my Google Chrome extension and just use Bitmojis if I wanted to use myself. Bitmoji has recently updated what it looks like, so it is like a little bit more realistic looking, I guess. More 3D, I guess would be the words. They're a little more 3D. Okay, let's pretend I want to make a stop motion video of me riding this chicken through this field of daisies. The first thing I'm going to do is get it like angled properly, right? It can't just be like straight up. So let's say he's like a little bit out of the picture, because whatever your first slide is how the video is going to start. And then really from there, it's pretty straightforward. We're just going to duplicate the slide, and then I'm going to move the next slide will be like the next thing. So the tinier your movements are, the more intricate your stop motion video will be. I could obviously move the rooster way over here, and then it would be a little less realistic looking or a little less stop motion looking. But I can click it through here. I can also have other things appear, like perhaps I want the sunrise as well to be happening at the same time. You can add, by searching through the web, you can add screenshots. You can upload your own things from the drive. That's pretty much what you're going to do. If I was doing this, I just move it just ever so slightly, and then I duplicate the slide again, move it ever so slightly. Maybe it even shrinks a tiny. Okay, once you've gone through the duplicating, obviously you can choose to be as small detailed or as detailed as you want in this. The best way to kind of like preview what it's going to look like is frankly to just click on this left sidebar and then like click through it and see what it's going to look like. Oh, there I am walking, gone. Okay, then once you've done that, and you're like, yes, this is the best stop motion video ever, and you're like, I'm ready to download it, you're going to go to File, Share, and then down here, you're going to click Publish to Web. You want to definitely change this to every second, and then start slideshow as soon as the player loads, and restart, which just causes it to loop. Once you've done that, it will create this fun little code for you. The embed code is what I use on, like, say, Canvas, or if I'm trying to embed it into a slide deck or onto a presentation or into a video, something like that is where you would use the embed code. But for now, let's look at what it looks like. I click Command C, go to another link, or another tab. I'll click Command V, and then here's my new tab, and I didn't press anything. It just automatically starts. It's kind of slow and steady wins the race, but it's cutesy. Most likely you're not making a video of you riding on a rooster through a field of daisies, although this is pretty dang cool if you ask me, so you should. But let me show you some examples of some stop motion videos that I actually have used. Here's another cute little stop motion that I created. It's a little GIF on completing the square. Obviously, slightly more useful, slightly more detailed than my rooster going through the field of daisies. And I will show you kind of the nitty gritty and what the behind the scenes of this stop motion looks like. This is also a wonderful project idea to do with your students, to have them explain their thinking behind things and to make presentations around this, and they just download. It's very seamless to either embed these or just to share the link. Everyone has access to Google Docs type of things. It's very free and easy to do this. I always like to add lots of Bitmojis to things because I think it makes things very fun, you know what I mean? Then I took these screenshots, added them in from Polypad, which I have another video on, Polypad, on their awesome virtual manipulatives. Okay, so you get the gist of what this one looks like. let's take a look at the behind the scenes with exactly what it looks like. You can always change the format if you're using this for something else that you don't want it to be in a presentation format. Perhaps you're putting it on Instagram or YouTube and you want it to be a short, or you want it to just be a post. It's a great way of doing it. So you can, as you can see, all you do is the same thing we did with the rooster. You continue to duplicate the slide. I found this chalkboard image on just Google Images when I clicked background, change background, and then I put square in a text box, and each page, it slowly gets lifted up to where it's completed. Here I added the various components. The 7s get started to lift up. If you don't put more than one slide, I find 1 second is pretty quick. If you really need people to read something, you definitely need at least 2 or 3 slides, which gives them more time to read it. Or in this instance, like I wanted them to think through this problem. For example, how many squares do I need to complete the square? So then I gave them 4 or 5 slides to kind of think through it. And then I showed them the visual of how many squares they would need to complete the square. So it's really fun, really awesome, and they're pretty simple. Anyone can do this. If you know how to use Google Slides, even just the most basic functions, you can make a stop motion video, and that's exciting. All right, well, that's all I have for today with the stop motion. Let me know if you give it a try. Hit like, hit subscribe, and ta-ta.
Like and subscribe.